There was not once, not twice, but 3 times you tried to commit suicide, to check out. What, I don't even know what the question is, but to see life so dark and a future so dark, can you explain the thought process that went behind that?
I have never in my entire life had, up until a certain point, never had a suicidal thought, ever. Never been a person that felt anything but love for life, and loved being a singer, loved being Mindy, loved everything about life. And when things started getting bad, and it was really with the relationship that I was in with the father of my son, I got caught up in this whirlwind of trying to save him from himself and lost me in the process. And then, you know, my self-esteem was gone. Here, I was in love with this man and trying to do everything I could to save his life, and nobody cared about mine. And it really wasn't that no one cared, it was that everybody was fed up with trying to be there for me. Well, all I wanted to do was die for this person. And I couldn't see that while I was in it. I couldn't see that, you know, he was destroying my life. He was tearing everything that was good about me apart. And my own family, my friends, the closest people to me, I wouldn't listen to them. I went back to him over and over and over again. And even after he tried to kill me, almost did kill me, I still went back to him and got pregnant and had a child by myself, because he wasn't there. He wasn't involved. He wasn't there for 1 minute. He never saw Zander born. He wasn't there.
You mentioned your son, which I can't imagine how difficult it must be to spend your first night away from him in jail. What does he know?
He was so little. He was 15 months old when I went to jail. He was so little that he doesn't remember. I don't think that he has any recollection of that whole time, and all he remembers is that I was there one day and the next I wasn't, for 6.5 months straight. And they did bring him to see me once, and he didn't remember me, and that was really hard. It was really hard.
That wasn't enough wake-up call?
It wasn't something I could wake up from. I didn't know why I was acting the way I was and why I was feeling like I was. I was going to doctors and they were putting me on medication, and one of the biggest side effects to the medication that I had been on for years was that it causes suicidal thoughts. And after all the doctors that I'd seen, and including Dr. Phil, I'm still on this medicine, and that's the main side effect of it. And nobody suggested for me to be off of it. And
are you off of it now?
I'm on no medicine now.
Nothing now?
Nothing.
I'm going to jump right into the celebrity rehab, because one of the scariest moments I've ever seen on that show put you right in the middle of it, when you had the seizure, which watching that episode and seeing Mackenzie sitting there not realizing what was going on and knowing what was happening, and I couldn't believe, like, she needs your help, not your jokes right now.
I remember almost nothing. I don't even remember talking to her, laughing like we were laughing with each other before, which I'm always joking. We were joking every night. She and I had the best time as roommates together. But I don't remember a lot even before. I remember waking up and being in an excruciating amount of pain, and Heidi was lying next to me on the bed, and Lisa was at the end of the bed, and everybody was saying, it's going to be okay, the ambulance is on its way, it's going to be okay. And I remember Dr. Drew saying, you know, something about, you didn't tell us you had a seizure disorder, and I said, I don't. And, you know, nobody could figure out what had happened. It was pretty unexplainable because I wasn't detoxing. So there wasn't a reason for me to have had a a seizure like that. People look at the show, and of course it does make it look like that was the reason, but it really wasn't. There was no, that happened because it was meant to. That was a God thing. I could have had that seizure a week before I came on that show while I was driving, and I could have killed myself and other people. It happened for a reason, and a very specific reason, exactly where it happened. I didn't know I had a head injury.
Could that still happen today?
No. The injury is treatable. The fluid that was in my head and the damage that had been done to my head was treatable with medication. And had I known that, of course, I would have treated it a long time before, and I probably never would have had a seizure. A lot of people have said, you know, was that about TV for you? Was that show TV or was it therapy? And I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it changed my life. It saved my life. The experience for me was so meant to be and so real that you couldn't have made it into TV if you had tried to write it and make it fake. None of that stuff was in any way, shape, or form planned. But it was planned, I think, by somebody else, somebody up there looking out for me.